So the focus of this video will be to work multiple type 1 binary non-acid ionic compounds going from formula to name. In an introductory chemistry class, we are considering type 1 compounds to be those that contain cations with a fixed charge, meaning each cation has only one possible charge. And those cations can be found in group 1, group 2, and here in this area where I call the 6-pack. In addition, ammonium is also included as a type 1, which we will see later in other videos. Okay, so here we have this chemical formula and we need to find its chemical name. The first step is to name the first element or polyatomic ion. The cation allows me to know that this compound is a type 1. Why? Because Li, which is lithium, is found in the green area, specifically in column 1. The next step, name the second element or polyatomic ion. If it's an element, change its ending to IDE. When it comes to binary non-acid ionic compounds, this second part right here, the appropriate name for it is called the monatomic anion, which is a nonmetal with a negative charge represented by the suffix IDE. Br, which is bromide, is right here. And whenever we write it, we are going to change the ending to IDE. The last step, if the first part has a fixed charge, which is thus lithium, coming from column 1, column 2, the 6-pack, or is ammonium, leave the chemical name as is. So this is my chemical name. Okay, so now we have this chemical formula, MgF₂. So the first step is to name the first element or polyatomic ion. And I know this is a type 1. This whole compound is a type 1. Why? Because we have magnesium, and magnesium is found in column 2. So that makes it a type 1. So I'm going to write the word magnesium. Now, the second step reads, name the second element or polyatomic ion. If it's an element, change its ending to IDE. So this here, our anion derives from fluorine, but remember we're going to change its ending to IDE. So it's going to say fluoride. Step 3, if the first part has a fixed charge, which it does, coming from column 1, 2, the 6-pack, or is ammonium, leave the chemical name as is. So we leave it alone. We do not pay attention to the subscript if it's a type 1 and if it's a binary non-acid ionic compound. It has to meet both requirements. We are now presented with this chemical formula and we want to find its chemical name. The first step is to name the first element or polyatomic ion. I know I'm looking at an element and I know this compound is a type 1. Why? Because aluminum falls within the green region over here where the 6-pack is at. Next, name the second element or polyatomic ion. If it's an element, change its ending to IDE. So instead of saying oxygen, I'm going to say oxide. The next step, if the first part has a fixed charge, which it does because we found it in the 6-pack, coming from column 1 to the 6-pack or ammonium, leave the chemical name as is. So this is going to be our chemical name. Just because it has subscripts, it doesn't mean that you're going to name it like a type 3. If the first part of the compound falls within the green region, then that means it's a type 1. Okay, so this is our new chemical formula. The first step, to name the first element or polyatomic ion. I'm looking at zinc, and I know zinc falls within the 6-pack. Is found right there. Next, name the second element or polyatomic ion if it's an element changes into IDE. Instead of saying chlorine, I'm going to say chloride. In step 3, if the first part has a fixed charge coming from column 1 to the 6-pack or is ammonium, leave the chemical name as is. So that is my chemical name. Okay, so now we're looking at this chemical formula. The first step is to name the first element or polyatomic ion. I know this compound is a type 1. Why? Because magnesium falls in column 2. Next, name the second element or polyatomic ion. If it's an element, change its ending to IDE. So my anion is selenium. And I know I'm going to change the ending to where it's going to have IDE. So this is going to be my chemical name. So remember, if it's a binary non-acid ionic compound going from formula to name, if the first part of the compound, which is the cation, falls within the green region, then you're going to use type 1 rules.